just a few decades earlier, was now transitioning into an era of industrialization, technological progress, and political shifts. With the development of new cities, the expansion of the railroad network, and the rise of big industries, the U.S. was quickly becoming a global powerhouse. But even as the nation was evolving and growing, the American dollar coin remained a key symbol of the country's financial stability and strength. During this time, one of the most captivating and historically significant dollar coins was minted, the U.S. $1 coin produced between 1889 and 1897. The coin, often referred to as the Morgan dollar, is not just a relic of a bygone era. It encapsulates the spirit of the time, representing the nation's drive for progress while honoring its rich history. As one of the most iconic coins in American history, the 1889 to 1897 Morgan dollar has intrigued collectors and historians alike for generations. With its beautiful design, it's linked to the economic and political landscape of the late 19th century and its impressive value today. The coin has a fascinating story that continues to captivate those with an interest in numismatics and American history. The origins of the 1889 to 1897 U.S. $1 coin are rooted in the economic and political landscape of the time. By the late 1800s, the United States was experiencing rapid growth and change. The Civil War had left the nation economically unstable, but the post-war period brought new opportunities and an increasingly interconnected economy. The U.S. Mint had been producing coins since the late 18th century, but the standard design for the $1 coin had remained relatively unchanged for decades. In the 1870s and 1880s, there was a push for a new design that would reflect the country's changing character and the increased importance of the U.S. dollar in the global economy. In 1878, the U.S. Mint decided to introduce a new design for the silver dollar. This decision came on the heels of the Coinage Act of 1878, which authorized the production of a new series of coins, including a new dollar coin. This act was driven in part by the growing demand for silver, as well as the country's desire to promote silver mining in the western United States. The new coin was designed by George T. Morgan, an engraver at the U.S. Mint, who would go on to create one of the most recognizable and enduring designs in American coinage history. Morgan's design for the new dollar coin was both elegant and symbolic. The obverse of the coin features a profile portrait of Lady Liberty, facing left, with a crown of oak leaves and a ribbon inscribed with the word Liberty adorning her head. The crown and ribbon symbolize the strength and resilience of the United States, while the oak leaves represent the nation's endurance. The design of Lady Liberty was inspired by a variety of classical and contemporary influences, with Morgan drawing on both Roman coins and depictions of American women in the 19th century. Lady Liberty's serene, dignified expression was meant to reflect the maturity and strength of the country, while also celebrating the ideals of liberty and freedom that had been central to the nation's founding. Surrounding the portrait of Lady Liberty are 13 stars, representing the original 13 colonies, which were the foundation of the United States. The stars are positioned in a way that encircles liberty, emphasizing the idea that the country's history and its future are bound together. Above Liberty's head is the word E pluribus unum, which translates to out of many one, a phrase that had become a central motto of the United States, symbolizing the union of the individual states into a single, cohesive nation. On the reverse side of the coin, Morgan depicted a powerful American eagle. The eagle, with its wings spread wide, symbolizes the strength, freedom, and resilience of the United States. The eagle is clutching a bundle of arrows in one talon and an olive branch in the other, which represents the nation's readiness for both peace and war. Above the eagle is a banner inscribed with the words United States of America, and below it is the denomination, $1. Surrounding the eagle is a ring of stars, further reinforcing the nation's unity and strength. The design of the 1889 to 1897 Morgan dollar was not only a reflection of the country's values and aspirations, but it was also a technical achievement. The coin was minted in 90% silver, with the remaining 10% consisting of copper, making it a durable and long-lasting piece of currency. The size of the coin was substantial, giving it a presence that was unlike smaller coins in circulation at the time. Its larger size, combined with its intricate design and the value of silver, made the Morgan dollar a powerful symbol of the United States' wealth and growing influence in the world. However, despite its beauty and symbolic importance, the 1889 to 1897 Morgan dollar faced challenges in its production and distribution. The country's economy in the late 19th century was volatile, and the U.S. Mint faced pressure to produce coins that would reflect the fluctuating silver market and respond to the political debates surrounding the coinage of silver. One of the major issues during this time was the debate over the role of silver in the U.S. monetary system, which culminated in the Silver Panic of 1893. This economic crisis, along with the political pressures surrounding the use of silver, led to the eventual end of the Morgan dollar's production in 1904. Despite these challenges, the 1889 to 1897 Morgan dollar remains one of the most sought-after coins in American numismatics. Part of the appeal lies in its historical significance. The coin was minted during a period of rapid economic growth, political change, and social upheaval. It was produced during the height of the Industrial Revolution, when the U.S. was rapidly expanding its economic and political influence. The coin also reflects the cultural changes of the time, as it was part of the broader movement to promote the values of liberty, unity, and strength that had defined the nation's early years. The 1889 to 1897 Morgan dollar is also popular among collectors due to its aesthetic appeal and the craftsmanship that went into its design. The coin's intricate details, from the flowing hair of Lady Liberty to the powerful eagle on the reverse, make it a work of art as much as a piece of currency. Collectors appreciate the historical context behind the coin, as well as the artistry that went into its creation. The rarity of the 1889 to 1897 Morgan dollar also plays a significant role in its appeal and value. Although millions of these coins were minted during this period, many have been lost to time, worn down through circulation, or melted down for their silver content. Coins that have been well preserved and are in excellent condition are particularly valuable, as they represent a link to a bygone era and offer a glimpse into the economic and political forces that shaped the United States at the time. The value of the 1889 to 1897 Morgan dollar has steadily increased over the years, and the coin remains one of the most highly sought-after pieces in the world of numismatics. As of today, a well-preserved example of the coin can fetch prices upwards of $650,000 at auction, especially if it is in mint condition or possesses unique characteristics, such as a rare mint mark or an error in the design. The high demand for these coins, combined with their rarity and historical significance, has driven prices to astronomical levels, making them one of the most valuable coins in American history, in addition to its value as a collector's item. The 1889 to 1897 Morgan dollar holds immense historical and cultural significance. It serves as a reminder of the United States transformation during the late 19th century, an era marked by both tremendous progress and social upheaval. The coin embodies the ideals that were central to the country's identity at the time: liberty, unity, strength, and resilience. It also reflects the growing economic and political power of the United States, as the country was asserting itself on the global stage and solidifying its place as a rising superpower. In conclusion, the 1889 to 1897 U.S. $1 coin is not just a piece of currency. It is a window into the past, a symbol of the United States' journey toward becoming the nation it is today. Its design, which beautifully captures the values and aspirations of the time, as well as its historical significance and rarity, make it a highly coveted coin among collectors and investors alike. The Morgan dollar continues to captivate those with an interest in American history and numismatics, and its value, which has reached up to $650,000, reflects its enduring appeal. As one of the most iconic coins in American history, the 1889 to 1897 Morgan dollar is a true treasure, a piece of the past that remains highly prized in the present. Top 2. In the early 19th century, America was in the midst of remarkable transformation. The country, still fresh from the struggles of the Revolutionary War and the creation of its new government, was rapidly evolving, both politically and economically. The United States was becoming a more powerful force on the global stage, yet it was still a young nation, grappling with growing pains and emerging from the influence of European colonial powers. Within this context, the story of the United States $1 coin from 1829 to 1837, known as the capped bus dollar, unfolds. This coin was not just a piece of currency. It was a testament to the values and ideals of a young America that was looking to define itself as an independent, flourishing nation. The capped bus dollar, minted from 1829 to 1837, became a vital part of the country's monetary system, symbolizing the nation's aspirations, its wealth, and the growing sense of pride in its own identity. The minting of the capped bus dollar began in 1829, a period when the United States was becoming increasingly modernized. The country was experiencing a time of economic growth and territorial expansion, thanks in part to the results of the War of 1812 and the technological advancements of the Industrial Revolution. The demand for coins to support the expanding economy was higher than ever, and the U.S. Mint, established in 1792, was ready to meet that demand with new designs that would appeal to the American public and reflect the nation's changing spirit. The capped bus dollar was a significant update to the design of earlier U.S. silver dollar coins. Prior to 1829, the design of the dollar had remained largely unchanged since the late 1700s. The coins minted in the early years of the Republic featured portraits of Lady Liberty with flowing hair or capped in a simple bonnet, drawn in the style of the classical ideals of the time. However, with the passing years, it became clear that the nation needed a fresh design that would represent the growth of the United States and its place in the world. Enter the capped bus design, created by renowned engraver John Reich. Reich, a German-born artist, was a member of the U.S. Mint's engraving staff, and his vision for the dollar coin would go on to shape the course of American coinage. The capped bus design was intended to update the image of Lady Liberty, which had been a symbol of freedom and independence since the nation's founding, while incorporating the aesthetic trends of the early 19th century. The obverse of the capped bus dollar features a portrait of Lady Liberty, this time with her hair styled in a more elaborate and flowing fashion, capped with a soft, rounded drapery that gives the coin its name. The profile of Liberty is more refined than the previous designs, reflecting the sophistication of the time, yet still carrying the ideals of strength, freedom, and hope for the nation's future. Around her head is a legend that reads Liberty, with the date of minting placed below her chin, adding a touch of elegance to the overall design. The reverse of the coin is equally striking, showing an eagle perched on a rock with its wings spread wide. This image of the eagle, the symbol of American strength, was designed with great attention to detail, capturing the majesty and power of the bird. The eagle is surrounded by a laurel wreath, a symbol of victory and honor, and the inscription, United States of America, appears along the top of the reverse, with the denomination $1 written below. One of the most remarkable features of the capped bus dollar is the coin's intricate design, which was a direct response to the artistic tastes and ideals of the time. The early 19th century was a period of neoclassical influence, and the capped bus dollar reflects the artistic preferences of that era, incorporating elements that were meant to evoke the classical ideals of beauty, strength, and liberty. The attention to detail in the engravings of both the obverse and reverse speaks to the craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint, which, despite being a relatively young institution, was quickly establishing itself as a leader in coinage production. Another important aspect of the capped bus dollar is its role in the economy of the United States during the early 19th century. At the time, silver was a critical component of the nation's monetary system, and the U.S. Mint needed to produce a coin that could support the growing economy and facilitate trade both domestically and internationally. The silver dollar was a key currency for merchants, bankers, and settlers, particularly as the nation expanded westward and trade routes were established across the continent. The capped bus dollar was minted in silver, and the coin size and weight made it suitable for use in both everyday transactions and larger-scale business dealings. Despite being a large, heavy coin, it was still able to circulate widely, particularly in the eastern United States, and was used extensively in trade with foreign countries, particularly in Latin America and Asia. Its high silver content also made it a valuable commodity, contributing to its appeal as a stable and reliable form of currency. In total, the capped bus dollar was produced in various years between 1829 and 1837. However, only a limited number of these coins were minted during this period, and the production of the dollar was gradually reduced as the U.S. Mint shifted its focus to other denominations, including the seeded Liberty dollar, which would later take the place of the capped bus design in 1837. As a result, the capped bus dollar became increasingly rare, particularly the coins that were struck in the earlier years of the series. The scarcity of the capped bus dollar has only increased its appeal to collectors. The coin was minted in relatively small quantities, and many of the coins that were produced during this period were circulated heavily, which led to a great deal of wear and tear on the coins. As a result, Well-preserved examples of the 1829 to 1837 capped bust dollar are highly prized by numismatists and collectors, with certain dates and